What is up? It's your boy, Zyra Player 52, back at it again with another fantastic League of Legends video. I figured I would make a video about AD carries to play with Zyra in the recent patch and talk about Zyra's buffs. So I think the first thing I'll do is I'll probably just talk about the buffs. Let's see. Let's just okay. So here they are. So plant damage taken from AoE spells. This is a great quality of life buff because sometimes plants just like die out of thin air, especially with like a lot of control mages in the game. This damage to monsters thing, like I don't play Zyra jungle, and nor will I probably ever. By the way, just a disclaimer, like I will probably post this somewhere where it matters to help people, but like I'm not the best at Zyra either. I've been playing this character for 6 or 7 years, and I'm just stuck between D1 and Masters for this split of the rank season. And this is just my thoughts of playing her this split of this season. So yeah, I've gotten Masters multiple times with her, but in no way am I saying like I'm the person to trust about this character. There's a lot of other people who probably can give you better advice on this character than I am. These are just disclaimer, my personal thoughts. So take this with a grain of salt and enjoy. So yeah, rampant growth. Your seed, you getting 2 stacks of seeds at level 2 is awesome. Like it's really, especially with the E flash thing. Like I think these 2 buffs are all they needed to do because this buffs Zyra support so hard and makes her level 2 really, really good. The fact that you can just like now start E and never cast it level 1 and then just auto take W is pretty nice. I think it actually makes like E max a lot better, and it makes starting E and level 1 invades not as fucking terrible for you. So I really like this change. I think this is all they needed to do. I don't think they needed to do the other stuff. I don't know why they're like trying to force Zyra into like the jungle role, but like whatever. The cast paradigm thing is just like a nice quality of buff, and the missile damage, I don't really know what this means. I'm gonna be straight with you. I've watched a couple videos on it, but I guess it just means like the numbers get updated quicker, or maybe like the plant gets buffed a little quicker. Like I'm still kind of confused on this, and I'm sure someone can tell me like what it means more. This cast paradigm, walking to position, where instead, so like what'll happen, and I've been in this case where this buff helps a lot, where you cast Zyra ult over a wall, and Zyra will path around the wall because you clicked it slightly out of the circle. Now she'll just cast it at max range. So I love this buff. I think it's great. It's just a nice quality of life buff. But yeah, I don't think they needed to do this. I think this may have been overkill. The rest, I mean, I guess the rest is nice. But will this make Zyra like over the top? I don't know. I mean, I think if she sees some pro play, maybe they'll like look at adjusting her numbers, or like probably lowering her root duration or something stupid, and I'd be sad because of that. But like, I don't got the answers on that one. We'll see. I think this is a great start to putting Zyra in line with other supports. But yeah, I wish they would have, like, I wish Zyra, if me personally as someone who plays her support, I wish they would push her more into mid lane, because what is fun about this character is doing a bunch of damage with the plants from a long range away. Like, I wish she was pushed more into like this poke mage mid, or like control mage mid variant. But I mean, I've been playing her support and enjoying it for the last couple years. So that's my thoughts on the buff. We'll see what happens when I don't know why it says 313. I think it's supposed to be for 3. I think we're on 313 now. Yeah, they're supposed to go to 314. Let's talk about, I made a tier list for AD carries. I did this a while ago, but the game's changed a lot. I used to love having Caitlyn, but Caitlyn's just not a character anymore, which sucks. Let's start with like the bottom and go from the top. I don't think you should ever play Aphelios right now with Zyra. I just feel like it's not that good. Neela, again, it's just kind of like one of those weird characters that they are trying to force into bot lane for no reason. Like it didn't work with Mordekaiser, and when it did, it was like really really buggy and gross, and it just felt awful to play against. I think AP Kog'Maw could be good and could be higher, but no one plays it. Senna, it's just like you don't want to have. Senna wants the fasting like scenario where you have a Tahm Kench, or like what they're doing in LCK now is K'Sante bot lane farming, and then Senna just farms the souls. Like I actually think that's a good strategy with her, but that's not something you want with Zyra. Zeri, all three of these are hyper. Like I think Kai'Sa could be S, honestly, but like me personally, these are hyper scaling AD carries that like want something to kind of get them through the laning phase and be with them throughout the game, and that's not really what Zyra does. And by the way, right is worst, left is best. Order matters here. Actually, now that I'm saying this, that should be there. Seraphine, just don't play Seraphine. Like it can be good, but I just feel like the people who play Seraphine are people who got autofilled the bot from support or mid, and there are just better picks to play with Zyra. Like if you really are stuck and you don't know what to pick with Zyra and you want something simple, there's Ashe or MF, and they're the simplest AD carries in the game, if not the most simple AD carries in the game to play. Jinx, again, kind of like a hyperscaling AD. She can be alright. Like I would much rather have her than these three, but like she can definitely do work. That's for sure. Jhin, I think there's like this huge misconception that like Jhin is supposed to be like this really good pick with Zyra because of his W and ults. And it can be good, but like the thing is like Jhin doesn't do that much damage, and just compared to other AD carries, I feel like there are better choices to make. Like Jhin does have synergy, but synergy doesn't matter if you don't have the damage to back it up. And I think a good Jhin player, like I'll happily take a great Jhin player. Like if I know the person's like a Jhin one trick, or like they really know what they're optimizing the character and landing every skill shot, it's like sure, I'll take it. But more often than not, like there's too many variables where you're just gonna like fuck up on Jhin, and there are better things to pick. Samira, I think, is alright. I feel like you can win lane with her together. Like, you max E, and then you get, like, that all-in level 2 that snowballs the game, and you and Samira just kind of take over the game. Ezreal is situationally good. I think a good Ezreal, no matter what the support pick, can 1v9 the game. If you're good at Ezreal and you know how to pilot the character, he's, like, the jack-of-all-trades AD carry who can take over. I personally just, like... when I play Zyra, I prefer something more aggressive, and that's why he is as low as he is. But I think he can be all the way up to Z. Caitlyn, I think she was really, really good, but no one plays her anymore, and her damage got nerfed. Again, she's kind of the same scenario as Jhin, where like I feel like you have to pilot her really, really well to get the most out of her, and there are just better picks to have. So now we'll go into S tier. These are characters that I think are like they're great, if not like good with Zyra, and like I'm happy to see them, but again, I think when you look at this list, ask yourself, why are you picking any of these characters over these three? There's like scenarios where I definitely think you should be picking Ezreal, but like really ask yourself, like, why am I picking any of these characters when MF, Ashe, Draven just do so much with Zyra and can take over the game? Lucian, I like Lucian because he can like all in level 2 with you, and he plays the lane very, very aggressive. I think he's an okay pick, but he's definitely at the bottom of the bunch, and he's obviously like he just wants Nami. I don't know why they force Lucian into like this like only playing him with Nami type of deal. I really wish they would like relook Lucian and think about like this whole CDR movement fantasy AD carry who can burst. Like I don't know. I feel like they can just kind of drop the ball on Lucian, and he's a really cool like design. So I feel bad for people who main Lucian because I think he's a really cool idea of a character. Xayah, I think, can be really good. I miss the Q, Airy, lethality variation of her, but she's just alright. Like, she scales, she does a little poke, and then she does really, really well front to back with Zyra. You both have disengaging ults. Like, she's alright. Xerath just synergize is just a good mage who synergizes bot with Zyra. You guys just max your Qs, poke him from afar. Pretty simple. Tristana is just kind of the better Lucian right now. Like, if you wanted an AD carry that like all in level 2 with you with Zyra, like, I think Tristana does it pretty well, but like then you kind of have to ask yourself, like, why are you not just picking Draven if you wanted to all in and be really good with Zyra? Same thing for Yasuo. I think Yasuo AD carry is like underrated and has some good matchups, and can take over the game. I wish people would play Yasuo AD carry more. It's kind of like, why would you ever pick Neela when Yasuo AD carry? Like, if you really wanted this like melee hyper carry fantasy bot lane, I think Yasuo is just better. Excuse me. Sivir is just a safe pick. She always will be a safe pick. She'll always be useful. I'll never not take a Sivir. Kalista, I feel like the people... I have Kalista so high because the people who play Kalista really know how to pilot her well, and I feel like more often than not, I just win lane with her. I mean, the synergy isn't there 100%, but like, I just feel like I win games with her, and to be honest, I don't know what that is. I think it's because she just plays aggressively with me, and I prefer to have an aggressive AD carry, so I don't know. Syndra and Ziggs are kind of just both in the same category of like these good control mages that you can play bot lane that just deal a good amount of damage, and even if you don't win lane, you can just perma push and try to like attract jungle pressure. Karthus, same kind of thing, but like even better. I think Karthus should be played AP carry bot lane more. He puts kind of like what I like to view Karthus as like this character that puts he comes into the game with a time bomb, because at a certain point he just gets so big and accumulates so much gold that he poses such a threat late game that he just takes over. So I wish people would play Karthus more, because he's the one AP carry that like I really enjoy having on my team. And even if Karthus just like does the suicide death thing and it looks like he's inting like Sion, he's still a lot more useful than Sion. So I'll take Karthus any day of the week. Twitch is just kind of like, again, there's no synergy like Kalista, but I just feel like he wins lane. AP or AD, I feel like this character, like, people just fall for the stealth cheese now at any elo. It's just a good pick. He does a decent amount of damage. He's flexible. Yeah, and I mean, like, he's good level 2 as well. Swain is like really good synergy with Zyra. You land your E, he lands his E. You guys are both dropping your combos on him. He's got a good spike at 6, and then later he just becomes like this drain tank frontliner that has Rise and makes it easy for you to land skills. Just really good synergy with Zyra. I love having Swain on my team. Varus, honestly, the only I put Varus in Z if it just wasn't that MF and Ashe do his job better. But again, Root, great all in, good poke. Really not much to be said. Just perfect synergy for Zyra. And then these three are up there for obvious reasons. Like, I mean, honestly, these up here, these two can be interchangeable. I prefer to have MF more. I feel like MF, especially with the Emax and Umax and Q, it's gross. Like, I don't know why people don't do it more. Like, you guys just push people in the tower, dodge ganks, and then like at 6 you just threaten to kill them under tower without even you diving most of the time. And it's so easy to just like spam ping for your jungler to come dive sometimes too, like sometimes as early as like level 3 or 4. Draven's just a good AD carry. Like, again, he's the all-in level 2. He does everything Tristana does, but better right now. And then Ashe just synergizes really, really well with your whole kit. Just got the poke, got the all-in. Like, honestly, I'm gonna put Varus here in Z because I think those are just the best. Honestly, I'll put Varus higher than Draven because I feel like Varus can be a little bit more consistent than Draven. But like, if you take away anything from this video, I just know that I think MF and Ashe are just so good with Zyra right now, especially MF Emax. Like, I really, really strongly encourage, like, if you have a Zyra as your support, to try this out. A lot of times I just see people pick these characters, and by these characters, I mean Vayne, Kai'Sa, Zeri, or Aphelios, and I'm just like scratching my head like, why? Like, it kind of just seems like when you pick that with Zyra, you're like trying to lose the game. Like, have the critical thinking to like go into games, unless you're like a one trick, because I'm a fucking one trick to a certain extent. Have the critical thinking to go into the game and think what is good with Zyra. But yeah, I hope this helps you when you have Zyra on your team. For anyone who is playing Zyra, I don't know what the best build is, but personally, I think Sork's Liandry's is like the most consistent. It's been the most consistent for years. I think there's iterations where like if the game has gone so poorly and you're behind, you can do Zanya's or Rylai's mandate. If you're ahead, you can just go Liandry's Void. But typically, 90% of the games I play, it's Sork Liandry's or Sork Zanya's if you really need it. Yeah, that's all I got. Thanks for watching my video. Feel free to add or message me if you got any questions. Again, I am not the best person to take advice from this character. I think if there's someone you want to watch and enjoy who really explains his thought process and is funny and is wholesome, you can watch Melon. I think this guy is fucking hilarious and deserves more praise and more viewership than he gets. And he's just an overall really, really cool guy. So if you're looking to like really learn the ins and outs in Zyra and you want to like give to someone who cares about the character, go to him. Yeah. Thanks for watching.